Hello, my fiery friends. Welcome to another Fiery Fun stream. I'm your host, the Infernoman here, and hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you are at. So, I'll be honest with you, last stream was absolutely horrible for us, and I honestly was feeling like, man, that was a terrible one. We didn't quite get to what we wanted to do, so here's hoping today we're going to be doing a lot better. What exactly are we playing today? Hold on. Excuse me. Ugh. A little back up there. But exactly, or what are we going to be playing today? Well, we're going to be playing something that I usually am not fond of doing, but it's going to be a little bit more meaner today. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it and show you what exactly we're talking about here. So with that, we're going to be playing, and it's going to be, again, no frills, straight up, no nonsense. Timeless Discard. That's going to be the deck for today, everybody. Give me 1 second here while I make a quick adjustment on my side here as we do our thing. All right. And then with that... Okay, so hold on 1 second here. Wait, is there something that's off on my side here? Hold 1 second here. I'm just going to test something out real quick. Looks like one of the sides that I have something going on is not quite working out that well. So I do apologize real quick while I make a minor adjustment. Just want to make sure that one of my other sides here is working well. Okay, looks like it's working well on side here. Okay. Sorry, I do apologize. I was just trying to make sure like one of my other sides that we're testing things out on is working out well. Looks like it is. Okay, so enough of me babbling. So this is going to be, again, a timeless discard deck for us. This deck, of course, is going to be, again, as I mentioned earlier, no nonsense. We're playing mono black. We're just trying to utilize one really awesome card that I've been having a lot of fun with, which is going to be Monument to Endurance here. This card will reward us for discarding our own cards, but at the same time, we're trying to punish our opponent for also them trying to either draw cards and also discard cards. So that's how the deck is working. Not gonna lie, this deck is gonna be a little bit more on the expensive side because, again, some of the cards are, well, they're very expensive in paper, but at least in Arena, it arguably is somewhat budget because it's only gonna cost you In any case, let's go ahead, let's cover how we usually do this. So, those of you, I guess, who have been through the channel quite a few times here, you know how we do it. We have to talk about the stats of the deck before we dive right in. Oh, hey, Den Splendid, welcome as always. Thanks again for joining us this morning, my fiery friend. Glad you are here. So real quick, we're going to go over the stats. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a mono black deck. We're rocking about an average mana curve of 2.3. We're only going to have total 6 creatures in the deck. We're rocking 8 instants, 8 sorceries, 8 artifacts, 4 enchantments, 4 planeswalkers, and 22 lands. The land base does look a little small, but hear me out for a second. I will explain how that works. But otherwise, as I mentioned earlier, this mono black deck is going to be pretty much what you expect it to be. We're going to be utilizing, of course, as I mentioned earlier, Monument to Endurance to reward us for discarding cards, but we're also going to try to punish our opponent for both discarding and drawing cards. So let's start with the 1-drop slot here. One of our most important cards here, Dark Ritual. This card is amazingly powerful for what it does. Pay 1 mana, instant speed, you get 3 black mana back. So this, of course, is going to be the key number to cast some of our cards on turn 1 if we can actually pull this off. We'll talk about, again, what cards you want to get with Dark Ritual in just a moment. Duress, of course, because this is a budget deck at first, but do not worry. We have a non-budget version we will plan to play a little bit later in the stream. Duress here, of course, just allows us to just discard an opponent's non-creature, non-land card from their hand, so really easy to the point. The 2-drop slot here is where things get more fun and exciting. We have Bandit's Talent here, so when this class enters, you can make an opponent discard 2 cards unless they discard a non-land card. Get it up to level 2, and then that means at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if they have 1 or fewer cards in hand, they will lose 2 life. And then at the final part, at level 3, at the beginning of our draw step, we can draw an additional card for each opponent who has 1 or fewer cards in hand. So once we strip our opponent of their resources here, we can just pretty much just start drawing a bunch of cards and start draining them of life. Also in the 2-drop slot here, we'll use Bitter Triumph here, although technically in the Timeless format, there is actually a faster card that's cheaper, which is going to be, I believe, Bone Shards. The only downside with Bone Shards is it's at sorcery speed. We want something a little faster that we can respond to, and usually with this deck, we have no problem getting the mana we need. So Bitter Triumph is going to be our option here. We can choose to either pay 2 life, or we can choose to discard a card to destroy a creature or planeswalker. We'll also utilize here Vampire's Kiss. One of these kind of cute pet cards, I'm not going to lie. I actually do love this card a lot here. Drain our opponent for 2, gain 2 life back to stabilize, and of course we can create 2 blood tokens that we can utilize later on for utility purposes. We could use them, of course, to sacrifice them to draw some extra cards, which of course will trigger off our Monument to Endurance here. Den Splendid just played a Nashi Searcher in the dark and doing well with it. Oh, that's cool. Glad to hear that. Let me know how it works out for you as in the long term, though. Hopefully, again, you'll get a nice little streak out of that, my friend. And then finally in the 2-drop slot here, we're going to play Collector's Vault here. A 2-mana artifact here. It's colorless, and it just says you can tap it down and then pay 2 to draw a card, then discard a card. You get to create a treasure token for us. So this is going to be a nice little draw engine for us. Again, goes very well with Monument to Endurance. So, of course, let's just talk about the main card itself, the star of the show. Monument to Endurance here, a 3-mana artifact here that reads, whenever we discard a card, you choose one that has been chosen this turn. You can either draw a card, you can create a treasure token, or an opponent will lose 3 life. So, with this card as one of our main engine pieces here, as we keep discarding cards, we can keep drawing cards to refuel our hand, we can keep ramping ourselves with treasure tokens, or we can slowly drain our opponent a little bit faster to hopefully close out the game. But what card is going to make us discard? Because, of course, to our other 3-drop here, Liliana of the Veil. So it's going to be one of our only planeswalkers in the deck, but it does incredible value for what she provides. Tick her up to, again, make everyone discard a card. Tick her down for -2 to then make an opponent sacrifice a creature. You can then tick down for 6 and separate all permanents target player controls into 2 piles. A player will choose one of those piles, and then they have to sacrifice the other pile. So pretty much it's going to be one thing that's going to be really helpful for us and really devastating if we could pull it off. I don't expect us, of course, to pull off any of the ultimates. Just getting to discard of cards is going to be what we want to do with the deck. And then finally in the 3-drop slot here, technically it's also considered a land in a pinch here, but we're going to have Boggart Trawler here. But we have it in a reason for, it's kind of like a free roll, if you will. This goblin comes down, you can exile target player's graveyard. So it's going to be great graveyard hate in the main deck for us. But again, most of the time we're going to use it just as a land. And then finally, to round it out, and I know some of you are probably sick of this card to death, but of course it works very well with our deck, so we're going to have to use it today. We're going to be playing, of course, Shield of the Apocalypse. You know how it works. Draw a card, we gain 2 life. Make an opponent draw a card, they will lose 2 life. So as we, of course, progress the game, this hopefully will then just kind of help close out our opponents and then hopefully destroy them with our card advantage that we will be able to provide for ourselves. This is going to be technically a budget deck, as I mentioned earlier, in the Timeless format, so we're going to be keeping it as simple as possible. 21 Swamps and a single copy of Avishkar Raceway here. Start the engines mechanic. We don't really care too much about this, but if it does go to max speed, we can then utilize this as another little extra piece here to help discard a card and then help draw a card. Let's see. Give me 1 second here while I look at this. Hold on. Sorry, I was just checking something real quick on the side here of my other screen. Okay. Now, finishing up right here on the sideboard here, if you do want to play some best of 3, and we will play a couple of best of 3 matches before we get into the non-budget version here. We'll have Fatal Pushes if we need a faster piece of spot removal. If we need a way to kind of slowly just destroy the whole board, we have a small board wipe with us, Cry the Carnarium. As I mentioned earlier, if we want to actually go with a little bit more spot removal, we also have some Bone Shards here. Only 2 copies, but we're only going to just utilize this. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, Bitter Triumph is our main deck removal. Soul Guide Lantern for additional graveyard hate if we need that in a pinch. Elspeth's Nightmare here, again, kind of does a little multi-utility. Destroys a creature, can also discard a card, and of course it has graveyard hate all built into 1 card. And then finally, a couple of copies of Go Blank here if we want to go all in on the discard and also exiling an opponent's graveyard. You notice, again, a lot of our abilities today are going to be trying to stack up a lot of stuff together and kind of overlap. And the reason for that is, if you've been playing Timeless, it's been pretty gnarly. So the reason why we wanted to play this today in Timeless is I've been honestly sick to death of everyone's card advantage and also their graveyard shenanigans. So I think this is the perfect deck to hopefully be the anti-meta option against what's going on in the format. But otherwise, that is the whole game plan for you, everybody. Is it possible for us to take advantage of Monument to Endurance on a budget in the most powerful format, then to make them discard cards while we just kind of outshine them with our value? Well, there's only one way to find out. So I don't know about you, but hopefully this deck will go off here. We're going to try to have as much fun as we can with it, and by playing it right now, and we'll see how well it does. All right, so we'll play the discard one. And I did mention earlier we do have an upgraded version, but I will talk about that, of course, halfway through the stream. Let's go ahead, let's start jumping on in. All right, so while we're doing this, everybody, let me know, how are you all doing today, everybody? Again, hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Let me know what you've been playing, and I know we're only days away now from Tarkir Dragonstorm being revealed to everybody. So I'm super jazzed about that, and hopefully it's going to turn out very well for everyone. But again, let me know, what is your thought process right now on the upcoming set? Hopefully, again, you guys are also just as excited as I am. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's see what we can do. It's time to do. All right, so with that, We've got right now the Swamp. We've got a Dark Ritual, which is actually really good for us because we can get down Monument to Endurance on turn 1, which is solid. Shielder of the Apocalypse is coming up. We have 2 copies, Vampire's Kiss, Bitter Triumph. Okay, I think this should be good for us. Alright, so, Swamp. We will play Dark Ritual turn 1, 3 mana, because we decided we want to be unfair today too. So there you go, our opponents. Alright. What do you got? Show me what you got, opponent. Didn't spawn it. 4-1 in Brawl. Had to lose against Winter Orb and not drawing lands. Ooh, that's a dirty little card. But hey, 4-1 is still pretty good. Glad to hear that it's working out for you. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's see here. We have another Dark Ritual, but we can't Ritual out Shielder just yet. So, I think... How do we do this here? I think what we might have to do here is we'll just wait a turn. If we cannot pull it off on the next turn here, we'll just use Vampire's Kiss to go into Dark Ritual and just do our thing. But the good news is Dark Ritual does kind of let us cheat a little bit on getting bigger cards out. But we'll see. Our opponent's got Roiling Vortex, so that, of course, kind of shuts down our game plan partially. Not the whole game plan, though, because we actually don't need to gain life to win. All we just need to do is make them run out of cards. Let's see. Can we pull this off here? Okay. They're paying us for 1. Okay, Liliana the Veil actually might be helpful for us, so let's do that. Dark Ritual. We will make 3 mana. So they make us ensure that we can't gain life. Not a big deal, because all we just care about is Liliana of the Veil. Alright, opponent, can you deal with this Planeswalker? We'll discard a card. Let's discard Vampire's Kiss. And then what we're going to try to do is now we need to start drawing cards. Let's let's create a treasure token. Opponent takes a ping. So it looks like they're a Timeless Burn deck. Interesting. We'll see, though, if that's going to be enough to defeat us. Static Discharge. Alright. We're definitely going for the burn win here. Light of the stage. Okay, so this means that they are completely out of action. So we should be able to then just maybe hopefully gain some life here and then stabilize. Do they go after Liliana? They do. Okay. She's down to 1, but she can still do her thing. Come on, land. Okay, great. That's actually what we wanted. So we got a land out of that. We will... How do we do this here? I think we will discard. We will make a treasure token. Okay, and then we will play Shieldred. How do you defeat a Shieldred opponent? Don't get me wrong. I've played mono red burn across all formats, and let's just say, once a Shieldred comes down, it's usually game over for me. Especially as a burn player, I hate to admit that, but that's mostly how it goes. So, our opponent's going to have to start spending a ton of mana just to not make us gain any life. But we'll see. Either that or they could save up just to beat down Shieldred here. One or the other. What do you got, opponent? They swing. Okay. Do we block? If we block, we lose Shieldred. But Liliana is probably more acceptable to lose. Okay, she goes down to 1.
You couldn't be more annoying.
Opponent, what do you got? Thinking. Static Discharge to our face. Alright, well, that's the proper burn solution. We're hoping to gain a little bit more action here. Alright, they got the Static Discharge. They can't cast it, though, so that's good for us. And then... do they turn off our life gain? They do. Okay. We get another Swamp down. Let's see. How do we do this here? Is there anything we could do? Anything we could do here? Static Discharge. No attacks. Pass. Let's see. Did we lose? They go to 14. Static Discharge can take out Shieldred here, which is unfortunate. Yeah. Maybe they actually did get us with the burn, which is something I'm honestly a little jealous of personally, just because many times I've been wanting to just... Okay. So they take us here. Yep. Dang. They'll swing here. I mean, I can honestly discard this. Discard the Vampire's Kiss. We draw a card. We can't gain any life. Yeah. Yeah. Dang, they actually got us. Every time I play Burn and Timeless, I can never beat down the mono red black deck, so we'll just concede here. It's okay. Not a big deal for us, everybody. Alright, it's fine. It's okay. We've only just gotten started, so it's perfectly fine. We could definitely bounce back. I do believe, of course, this deck definitely has what it takes, however. Although I am going to laugh, though, if we deal with nothing but aggro decks in the format. Honestly, our deck is meant to handle the mid-range and control decks out there. Not necessarily the aggro decks, but we'll see. We'll give it another shot here. Let's see how it does. 10 minutes. Also, I have a rather odd deck for Explorer named Scare Jumper. Basically a heavy variant of Esper Bounce, but with more horror themed, and it's doing decent. I'll send a deck list later. Okay. I know you'll probably throw it into the Discord, so I would like to see that later on. I'm guessing it's just because you wanted to go more on flavor for the deck itself, which sounds pretty cool, actually. I like hearing that. In any case here, next match, 2 Swamps, Bandit's Talent. We got 2 Bogger Trawlers here for exiling, Shieldred, of course, and a Collector's Vault. Okay. I think this should be okay. All right.
It's time to
Let's do this again. Bring it on, opponents. What do you got? What are you playing? We're on the draw. Okay. Opponent is thinking. While they're thinking, I'm also going to put up a poll probably at the beginning of maybe Monday, where I'm going to ask a simple question, which is, what colors should we focus on for the first deck or so, first deck tech, I should say, for Tarkir? Since it's going to be, again, a 3-colored focus set, let me know what you would like to see. Each of the clans, Abzan, Mardu, Temur, let me know. But don't worry, we will put up a poll for that, because I would like to see where everyone's mindset is in terms of that. Once we get, of course, this first couple of spoilers, then we'll probably kind of get an idea of what is to expect. Otherwise, in the meantime, opponent puts down a land, and are they there? Opponents? All right, the timer is going. Let me know, opponents. Okay, they are there. Maybe they got delayed for a second here. So they got a Swamp 2. What should we play next? I think the Bandit's Talent probably be the safer option, because we can make them discard 1 card. Overgrown Tomb? Interesting. Oh, they got Dark Ritual already. Ugh, did they get the Shieldred first? Oh, they got the Grief. That's annoying. Maybe we should have put Grief in for the upgraded version. That's something to think about later on. We'll talk about that and what I mean by that a little bit later. In the meantime, they will Grief away our Bitter Triumph, which is, again, annoying, but it's not the worst for us. Swamp will play the Bandit's Talent. Make them discard a card. Okay, opponents. They'll lose. Oh, wow, they lost 2 lands? Well, that's actually a nice bonus for us. I'll take that. At 17. Deathrite Shaman. Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's see here then. We'll play the Bogger Trawler. Tapped. Tick up our first Bandit's Talent. And then we'll get a peeky peek at what our opponent's got. Then Splendid, Sultai or Mardu? I mean, I'll be honest, if I had to pick the colors, probably I would say for myself, Mardu is probably more likely what I'm going to lean towards. But I'm guessing, because some people already saw the Rhino, most people are probably going to say, we got to do Rhino. But honestly, I'm thinking Abzan maybe for the first real deck tech. For the first stream, that's also another good question too. I guess it really depends on what we see. Okay, get rid of the Fatal Push. So that's good for us. Okay, if we get to ping our opponent there. All right, that's fine. Opponent's going to swing. And swing. Go down to 13. So, let's see. Swamp. It's Shieldred time. Alright. Do you have an answer for Shieldred, opponents? Wait, do they? Okay, Orcish Bowmaster. So we get pinged for 1. Go down 12. They get drained for 2. And they'll get drained another 2. Alright. Well, we kind of got our game plan off because we made them discard cards. So this is good. Do we want to block here? Probably not, because I feel like they might have another Fatal Push in hand. So we're going to hold off. Dark Ritual, okay. So let's see here. Let us Bandit's Talent to make them discard. Whatever they have in hand, we got to make sure they get rid of it. Alright, opponents. Anything else in hand we should worry about? Okay, they had a Shieldred. Okay. So let us take up the other Bandit's Talent. Dark Ritual out. Boggart Trawler. Let's see if we can exile the whole graveyard here. Alright. So, denied, opponent. No resources for you. And also puts a body on the floor, so that's good for us. We'll swing here. We'll take a chance. They may have removal, but we'll see. Okay. They drain us of 2. We get rid of their card. Did they actually have it? No, they actually have a Fatal Push. Oh, come on. Really? Okay, that's fine. Well, we do still have a blocker. And we're still draining them, so it could still go either way. They'll probably swing a Grief. Lesson learned, everybody. Always assume they have the Fatal Push in hand for Shieldred. Usually, of course, I never do. But, okay. Let's see, what do we block here? I don't want to take too many hits here, but we can't afford to have that Orc army also hurt us too much here. Take out the token in the most awkward way possible. Monument to Endurance. Okay. Drain, drain. Down to 4. So at this point, it's anyone's match here. If they have any way of draining us out, we lose. But if they have nothing, we can still win. All right. All comes down to this turn. 1 turn for either one of us. Who's got the win? Who's got the win? Okay. Opponents? Anytime now, opponents. They're thinking. Okay. Clock's ticking. Do they have it? Maybe? Don't keep me waiting too long, opponents. Hello? Anyone there? Okay. Well, while they're trying to figure out their... I don't know what move they're trying to pull off here. Again, another question I want to ask all of you is... Are you excited for... Let's see. What was I going to ask there? Okay, so they did put that down. Alright, so let's see. We will... I guess Liliana's coming down. Okay. So with that, we can't...
When I win, you're telling me what you know about the Raven Man.
Actually, we can drain here. We'll drain. Oh, and there we go, everybody. We got the victory. All right, they had a... Wow, they actually had a 1 ring in hand. We came close to losing that one, but... All right, we did it. First victory of the day, everybody. All right. Discard their hand for victory. We'll take it. Oh, yeah, so what I was going to ask. What are your thoughts right now on wanting to make some dragon decks coming up? Are we excited for that? I know some of you out there are not huge on creature decks. I love creature decks, but I haven't actually played in a couple years a dragon deck. So I think the question for that is, what color probably would be the best color for a dragon deck coming up? We're definitely going to get, hopefully, a lot of them. But I know the biggest issue when it comes to dragons is they always tend to lean towards red, which is not bad. But the issue, of course, is we usually don't get any dragons that are on the lower end of the curve to kind of curve into bigger dragons. But hopefully we'll get something. What are your thoughts, though, on that? Let me know. Meantime, okay, so we got 3 swamps, okay. A Duress for the turn 1, turn 2 Bandit's Talent. We got some removal, and a Liliana. All right, this looks pretty good. We should be able to keep this. All right, opponents. Let's get a peeky peek what you got. Peeky peek. Let's see. What are they playing? Oh, okay. Well, we can't throw anything. That's awkward, by the way. But otherwise, okay. Ocelot Pride. 2 Ocelot Prides. Ragavan. All right. Well, This is going to be a little annoying to get to because we don't have a Wrath for this, but maybe we can get through this. We'll see. Dave OV over on YouTube. Welcome, my fire friend. Thanks again for joining us this morning. Yes. Discard. Hopefully we can discard just enough stuff that we can force our opponent into a bad spot. But we'll see here. All right, Dark Ritual. Liliana of the Veil. We're going to force them to lose the monkey. Monkey go bye-bye. Sorry, opponents. No Ragavan for you. Okay, so let's see. Okay, Ether Hub. So, of course, for those that don't know, this is definitely the Boros energy deck, which I kind of like, but it doesn't really feel like real energy per se. At least it's kind of evolved beyond that point, at least from what I've seen. All right, so how do we do this here? Swamp. We will Bandit's Talent. Make them discard a card. Although ideally it would be nice if we can get rid of 2 lands. But we'll see. I don't know what the other 2 cards are, so I'm sure one of those is a non-land. Opponents? Okay, so it got rid of an Amp Raptor. That's fine. I guess we'll tick up. And then we will make them discard another card. Okay, so with that, what do we get rid of here? I guess Bitter Triumph. Only because I would like a body on the field so we can force them to lose one of their Ocelot Prides if they have to. We'll see. All right. We're halfway to the City's Blessing with Ascend. 2 cards in hand we don't know of. Oh, jeez. Oh, good lord. 3 Ocelot Prides? Come on. I don't usually get that lucky. So we lose Liliana, unfortunately. Our Cry of the Carnarium on the sideboard would be really nice right now, but I don't think we're going to get to that today. It's okay, though. All right, in the meantime, Bogger Trawler. Make them lose their graveyard. Drain them for 2. We need to shield her down on the field. That's pretty much what we need right now to slow them down completely. I don't know if we can get to that, though. Okay, Bogger Trawler can't really block too well here. I mean, we could try, but the best we can do is, unfortunately, just eat a token. Because Ocelot Prides have first strike, so I can't block those. That's awkward. Okay, any case. Ugh. Alright. I don't think we're going to get through this one, unfortunately. They got their tokens out here. Why am I not this lucky when it comes to playing Ocelot Pride? Every time I play it, opponents always have instant speed removal. It doesn't feel like we really get an option. Alright, well, if this was best of 3, this actually would have been fine for us, because we could have just swapped in our Wraths, but it's okay. I think our best option here is just, we have to take the L. That's okay, though. So, after this one, I think what we'll do is we'll play maybe one more best of 1 with this budget deck, and then we'll probably jump into a couple best of 3s. Then later on, as I mentioned, we will do, of course, the non-budget version and ride that out for the rest of the game. Dang. What a shame there. Alright. It's fine. It's fine, everybody. We don't usually try to get upset about losses. It happens. Sometimes happens to the best of us. Oh. Somehow got an achievement? Okay. I guess we'll take that. So with that, let's jump into one more in best of 1. And then we'll jump to best of 3. We'll see how well the deck does if we can sideboard some options. Alright. So while that's going on, let me know in the comments, everybody, what are y'all playing right now over the weekend? Are you planning out some new deck brews, some spicy stuff out there? Or are you planning for Tarkir once we get the previews next week? What are your thoughts? Hopes? Dreams? Is there anything you would like to see that gets reprinted from previous Tarkir sets? Or maybe you want to see something that might be dragon related, but wasn't originally part of the set. Let me know. I would love to hear from all of you of your thoughts coming up for the set. In the meantime, okay, so we're very land heavy here, but we got a Bogger Trawler for Graveyard Hate. Collector's Vault can help us draw. Shieldred here can help us, of course, keep stable. All right, let's keep this hand. We can't discard initially, but we can definitely be stable if our opponent doesn't have an answer against us. Okay, opponent didn't mulligan, so I guess that helps us out a bit. All right. Dense Planet, you know what? How about Grixis Dragons? Ooh. You know what, Dense Planet? I don't think anybody's actually really done a Grixis Dragon deck. I mean, aside from the obvious, which is Nico Bolas. But what if maybe we do find a way to make a Grixis Dragon deck without using Nico Bolas as the main piece? I'd be very interested to see how that goes. That actually might be something very spicy. But I guess we'll have to wait and see what we get. I mean, granted, yes, the set, because of how the clans are, we won't technically get anything Grixis related. But I would like to see, maybe there can be something we can use. Oh, our opponent tries to Blood Moon us? Joke's on you, opponent. We're actually a budget deck, so your Blood Moon does nothing against us. Oh my goodness. This actually might completely come back to bite our opponent here. Okay, so here's how we do this. Oh, wait. Oh, never mind. I forgot the Chalice counters that. Oops. Oh well, it is what it is. No big deal. We'll still Collector's Vault. So our only real one drop was honestly the Dark Ritual, so that actually doesn't really hurt us all that much. Shielder coming down. And we can start draining our opponent here. So I'm guessing they're a mono red prison deck. Interesting. Spicy and timeless, because I haven't seen one. They have the One Ring. Annoying, by the way. But this is fine. Not a big deal for us. We can still... we can drain our opponent through the One Ring. That's actually... we honestly don't care about that. Alright. Level 2. Swamp. We will Boggart Trawler. We'll exile their graveyard. Oh, actually, I forgot they have protection. Oops. Well, I probably should be paying attention to what's on the field instead of kind of looking off to the side. So, my mistake there. Either way, not a big deal, because honestly, we don't really care. Because no matter what they do, our deck on budget kind of gets around their Blood Moon effects, so we gotta. I don't know what else you can do, opponent. I mean, you can put down more One Rings to stall, but you otherwise don't really have much of an... oh, Sneak Attack? What could they be doing with Sneak Attack? Wait, what are they getting out? I'm scared. Ooh, Cityscape Leveler. Alright. Ugh, well that's annoying. That's fine though. I think we have ways of still getting around it. Okay, no blocks. Okay, so they're gonna try to, I guess, sneak attack in this the whole game. They will draw some more cards. They lose it. Okay, our turn. Okay, now we're actually gonna have to kind of make adjustments here. So here's how we do this. We will activate the ability, draw a card, discard a card. Okay, and then we throw away, I guess, the Dark Ritual since we can't use it. Play the Swamp. Play Bandit's Talent. Make our opponent discard some more. Yeah, you're right. Drain still works, but if they're trying to sneak in big cards, that's going to be a problem for us. But we'll see. It's all up to you, Boggart Trawler. We believe in the Trawler. Alright, they're drawing more cards, though. Ugh. This could be very close. We don't know if we can find a way around this. We need another Shieldred to beat our opponent. Or some discard. Something here. Cityscape Leveler, though, is a card. And it is very scary. Fury. Okay. Alright. Well, the good news is, though, they didn't haste that out. So we have time. Okay, we'll draw some extra cards, which is good. Okay. Tick up again. Let's Collector's Vault to draw a card and discard a card. Okay, so we do at least have an option here against our opponent. We're going to wait. Because we need the mana open for Bitter Triumph. Opponent is down to 5. Do they have a way of beating us here? That's right, they also have Unearth. But we still have a Bitter Triumph in hand, so I think we should be fine. Our opponent is getting very greedy, though. Very greedy. Okay. A One Ring again. So they reset themselves, which is beyond annoying. Okay. Opponents? What do you got? What else do you have in hand? I'm not gonna lie. I do like what their deck is doing, but at the same time, it's... Okay. Oliphants here. Interesting. Okay. So they're probably gonna pump Fury here. But we can get around that. So... discard our Swamp. Opponents? Phew. Okay. Too close. Way too close there. Okay. They one ring still. I guess they're trying to find an answer now. And I'm sure any answer they can find right now might be able to beat us next turn. They lose their elephant. Okay, we draw a card. But unfortunately, dang, we can't use the duress. So annoying. Okay, Collector's Vault still. Maybe we can get out an answer here. Liliana. Okay. Well, I mean, technically she discards through the...
Those who get in my way.
Yeah, she can discard through the actual ability, which doesn't help us that much, but it kind of does. Okay, level 3. And that's all we can do, but it's not going to be... it's not going to be enough. If our opponent has any way of hasting out anything with sneak attack, we're done. Dang. Our opponent actually did manage to find an answer for us. Because they also have the Unearth too, the Cityscape Leveler. And yeah, here it comes. Dang. Well, we tried, everybody. We really did. Dang. Once again, Arena, I swear, it feels like sometimes it's conspiracy against us. We lose again, despite the fact our deck should be able to handle most of the mid-range decks out there, but oh well. Sadness. Okay. You know what? We're going to mix it up now. We're going to be playing some best of 3, and we'll see if we can make our way to some victories with a best of 3 deck instead. All right? Let's go ahead. Let's try that. So instead, we'll make a change here. Best of 3 ranked, timeless discard still, and we'll try it out. Okay. Let's see if we can find a way to beat our opponents now that we actually have an option to sideboard. All right. Let's see. All right. Loading up here. And we'll see what we can do. All right, so with that, what can we do here? All right, so let's see. Okay, so, I think this should be okay, right? Let's see. Okay, so with that, we've got the Swamps, Bandit's Talent. Yeah, okay, yeah, we should keep this. Sorry, just mumbling to myself there. Okay, so with that, what is our opponent playing? Oh, they're Diamond? Oh, come on. We're not doing that bad, are we? Are we? Okay, Troll of Kazandu. What are you... Okay, so they're going to get small. Okay, they got Arrakis Theater. All right. What is our opponent playing? I wonder. Where could this be going? I mean, either way, we'll find out in a bit. Come on. They got the Grief already. So it looks like they're going to try to out-discard us. So, alright. Well, this is going to be very annoying. Opponent. Come on. Yep. Well, we lost our key piece there, but it's not the worst. We can still duress them right now. Let's see if we can get something out of their hand. Oh, I guess we can't. Alright. Well, this is when, of course, the upgraded version of the deck would probably help us out a lot more. But that's okay. Not a big deal. Yeah, it looks like it's just Rakdos Scam. Or Good Stuff, or I don't know. I actually haven't seen anybody play Detective's Phoenix. So we'll see how that actually goes against us. But we do have answers against their stuff, so it's not a big deal. Okay. Bandit's Talent. Make our opponent discard. Do they lose the Phoenix? Yep, they do. Okay. So that buys us a little bit of time. Phoenix can be bestowed, though, so we'll see where that goes. They mill. Well, Balker Trawler here will be so nice if we can get that off. Okay. Alright. They surveil. Okay. They swing. Down to 17. Okay. So I think we might have to wait for the Bitter Triumph in case of the Overlord goes online. In the meantime, we'll just take up here with Bandit's Talent to 2, and we'll pass. Okay. Well, let's see. Can we get around this at all? Dragon's Rage Channeler number 2. That is a clock. But we'll see if we can get around that. Protect this, Phoenix. Okay. Okay, they got another Goyf too. Alright. Where is this all going? Okay. They swing. So I think now might be our time. We might have to actually hit this hard. We'll throw away one swamp. So that does slow them down a bit. But the Phoenix still stays on board, so that's annoying. But okay. Is there a way out of this? I think is the question we need to ask ourselves here. Liliana. So we can force them to sacrifice one creature, which is probably going to be the Detective Phoenix. Yeah, it looks like Rakdos Goyf. That looks like what it is now, because now that I've realized that they have the Goyf in hand. Or I should say, in the graveyard hand, so to speak. Most likely you're going to swing at Liliana, because they got to get rid of that, or else we're just going to force them to discard. Detective Phoenix comes back again. Annoying. Alright. Alright. Oh boy. Okay. I haven't had enough experience with this deck to know what it's going to feel like, so this is why it's a little trickier for me today. We'll Collector's Vault. We are looking for answers at this point. Any answer. Okay, so I guess that's an answer, sort of. We'll pass. We're down to 9, though, so we're pretty much at one turn, and we're probably going to be dead here. If our opponent can just get out the grief, that's pretty much game over for us. But we have Graveyard Hate in the sideboard. Oh, they got the Reanimates? Alright. So they're going to try to find... Okay, they go down to 10. Okay. Opponents. Alright. Opponents. Anything? Anything else? Maybe? Dragon's Rage Channeler going off. Ugh. This is actually a pretty gnarly deck. Very gnarly. There's the swing. And we lose the first game. But that's okay, everybody. We're going to try, of course, and hopefully, maybe we can do it in the second round. We need all the Graveyard Hate in the world, though. That's what we need to shut down this deck. Okay, but the good news is we do have it. So that's actually nice for us. Okay, so what do we... All right, I think we're just going to have to go full-on control for this one. So what that means is... I want to keep Shieldred, but we're probably going to have to cut other cards. Vampire's Kiss is going to have to go bye-bye. Let us... They didn't have that much in terms of actual non-creature spells, so Duress might actually get dropped. Go Blanks for sure. Elspeth's Nightmare. Cry the Carnarium for sure. And then, I think the Bitter Triumph goes out for Fatal Pushes instead. Bone Shard might be a little bit stronger for us. I don't know, maybe cut a Monument to Endurance? Or maybe actually, I don't know. Liliana might not be quite, might be too slow for this because we just want to focus on getting their graveyard clean. Soul Guidelander for sure. And I guess, let's see, we have room for one more card. Or maybe trim one Collector's Vault. And then I guess bring back 2 Bitter Triumphs. Seems a little clunky, but I think that might be the best option here. We just need to go all in on just destroying their stuff and keeping the graveyard clean as much as possible. But we'll see. We shall see. We will be on the play. Okay, so we have pretty much a lot of different ways here we can stop our opponent, so let's keep this. And hopefully we can get there. Right, Grief. Once again. So they will throw away something we have. Most likely it's going to be a Shieldred. Yep. No surprise there. That's okay. We still have time to kind of get what we need. Okay, Marsh Flats. Mishra's Bauble. Monument to Endurance. All right, so we got one of our pieces that we will use later on, hopefully. All right. Mishra's Bauble. They're going to get a peeky peek at our hand. Or at least our next card draw. Marsh Flats doing his thing. Sacking. Getting out the Rackus Theater. They be surveilling. They be surveilling. Okay. Well, we'll see now how well this deck does on a budget. I will definitely say, though, the non-budget version will definitely feel a lot more stronger when we get to that maybe after this match. But otherwise, Crow Mox. Oh boy. I really was surprised we got Crow Mox added to Timeless because this card is really dirty. It literally just provides an easy out for opponents for ramping. Right? They got the Bogger Troller too. Okay, Troll. Swamp Cycling. Getting out of Godless Shrine. Alright. So, let's see. How do we do this here? I guess... Okay, hold on. That gives us 5. That's not enough. Okay. We'll just do the Bogger Trawler. We exile their graveyard. So that weakens the Nether Goyf. Okay. So that buys us time. That's good. That's what we need. Grief. Here we go. Grief again. Cry to the Carnarium most likely is one to get tossed out. At least that's what I would toss out. Opponents? Yep. No surprise. Dang. Just when we had our answer too. Okay, Swamp. Monument to Endurance. And I guess we swing here. Might as well start doing some damage. They're down to 14. I realize now by putting in Monument to Endurance it doesn't really do anything in our deck because we don't actually have discard outlets, technically. We're mostly focused on just removal. Maybe I should have swamped them out. Was that a miss? Maybe. We'll find out. We'll see if that comes back to haunt us. Okay. Opponents. They be swinging. Down to 16. Another swamp. Can't really do anything with these. No attacks yet. So we mostly would just want to get rid of that Nether Goyf before it gets too big. If we can do that, we should be okay for a little bit. Down to 13. Ugh, I feel like we can easily win this one if we just get to our key piece. Oh, come on, deck. Why are you giving me lands? No! We're flooding. We don't need lands right now. We need action. Any action right now would help us. Maybe not another monument, though. That was probably a miss on my end. Alright. Swinging again. Dang, if only we could just block that grief. You gotta be kidding me. We're now 8 lands in, and we still can't get a single piece of action here. Anything would be helpful right now. Ugh. This is painful. I swear, if we lose because we're flooding, I'm gonna be so angry. This really feels like a match we can beat. Okay, they played the troll for full price. Man, if we only just had discard, we could have... Oh, come on, really? We got that one turn too late. Ugh. God, that's painful. Okay, well, we don't really have a choice here, because they can discard nothing now. We tick up. We tick up. No attacks. And we lose. You gotta be kidding me. Absolutely terrible. We literally lost because Bandit's Talent came out one turn too late. They reanimate, which is insult to injury, and I'll just take the L. Man, that was so painful. I can't believe that. Literally, we were flooding out there. We had an answer, but it was one turn too slow. Sometimes this game. I swear. Okay. Alright, I'll try not to rage too hard here, but that really was something I felt like we could have won. Let's try one more in best of 3 with this budget deck. And with that, if you're interested, I will mention again, There will be, of course, links in the details for these streams once we're done. So if you're interested in these decks, I'll be more than happy to leave those for you guys so you can kind of copy and paste those if you like them. Maybe you want to mold them in your own way, or maybe you think you can do better than me. Yeah, more power to you. Not going to say my version is the best version, but it's kind of the best I can come up with within at least a couple days while I'm still trying to budget out and balance out 3 or 4 other decks I'm trying to plan for the next week or so. So that's mostly where my thought process is. I'm literally a scatterbrain all over the place when it comes to deck building. In any case, all right, now they're giving us a person that's at gold. Come on. Don't try to say I'm bag me that hard, Arena. Otherwise, we'll keep this hand because we have a Bandit's Talents, got the Boggart Trawler, and we have the Shielder the Apocalypse. We've only, unfortunately, have won just one match. But at least I don't feel like we're doing as worse as we did last stream. Last stream, we were just absolutely getting hosed. I don't think we won anything last stream. All right, Swamp first. All right, opponent. Show me what you got, though. I'm ready. Bolt Wave. Okay, so it looks like we're going to be dealing with another burn deck? Okay, well, we're going to discard something out of their hand, so let's see. Okay, Flage. Interesting. Okay, so it's going to be a Boros burn deck? Okay. Slickshot Show Off coming. We will Duress. Let's throw something out that they don't need. Okay, so they have... Throw away the Bolt Wave. Take up Bandit's Talent. So, with the right timing, we should be able to then just stop their Flage from coming in. Arid Mesa. But do they play this? Okay, they're probably going to play Slickshot Show Off into Skewer the Critics. Alright. Slickshot Show Off coming in. Skewer. Skewer? Yeah, Skewer. They have 5 cards in. Okay. Okay, so we have the Bitter Triumph, which is good. We'll play the Boggart Trawler for now. Exile the graveyard. Phew. Okay, so that buys us a little bit more time still. We ping them for 2, down to 11. Any more burn in hand? Ooh, Sunday Canyon. The Desperation draw there. Nothing? Nice. Okay. I think we might be able to stop them here. Shoulder the Apocalypse coming in. Down to 8. Drain them down to 6. This is win or lose turn right here. If we have... Oh, they don't have it. They don't have it. They go down to 4. And there we go, everybody. Yeah, we take game 1. Whew. Okay. Okay, so they're playing a Boros aggro deck using Slickshot Show Off. So for sure for that one, we need Fatal Push. Definitely. Bone Shards are coming in. Let's see here. Monument's going to be too slow for this match. And let's see. Cut the Collector's Vault. Vampire's Kiss might still be helpful. Let's see here. We want... What do we want else do we want here? I guess Elspeth's Nightmare? Okay. Elspeth's Nightmare. I guess Go Blank might be helpful too. So trim 2 Liliana the Veils and put in the 2 Go Blanks. Okay, I think this should be the one right here. Hopefully we'll get this here. Dense Planet. Lost to a Devious Cover-Up. Oh. Yeah. Sorry to hear that, my friend. But yeah, Devious Cover-Up is actually a really powerful Wrath. I actually underestimated that Wrath because I was like, oh, no one's going to play a Wrath that's actually 5 mana. But that, but its secondary ability for collecting evidence, that could be very devastating depending on what you have. Okay, so we have technically Graveyard Hate in hand. And we can turn out a Liliana the Veil. I think we'll keep this. It is a little risky for me, but we'll try. Alright, down to 19. Okay, so with that, let us... Dark Ritual. Liliana coming down. Make our opponent discard. Okay. Is this the right play? I guess we'll find out here. Okay, they throw away the Flage. Dense Planet. No, the counterspell card. Oh, okay, that would be Deadly Cover-Up. Oh, okay. I see. I got you there. Still, unfortunate that you got the loss, but don't worry. I know you'll get them next time. Still, that's still pretty devastating. Because I know how that feels.
Do not touch
Okay.
me again.
They take out our Liliana, but that technically buys us a little bit of time. Alright. 4 cards in hand. 3 cards in hand. Thankfully, we have the Boggart Trawler again, so if we can just exile, we can keep Flage from doing its thing. But okay. Arid Mesa. Sacred Foundry. Okay, go down to 18. Okay. Don't know if they have the burn in hand, but... Alright, at least with this, we're going to get rid of that Flage again, opponent. Sorry. Denied. Not a huge loss there for them, but at least we have a blocker for now. That's mostly what we want, is we need blockers until we can get some spot removal online. Bolt to the face. Okay. Opponents? Arena of Glory. Wait, what are they bringing in? Chandra's Incinerator. Ooh. Well, that's no good. But we'll still block the Swift Sphere, so it softens the blow, so to speak. Shieldred. I don't want to have to chump block with her, but we may not have a choice here. Just to keep the Incinerator offline. Because we are very close to losing. Opponent's deck is an interesting take on this mechanic and the burn. So I kind of like what they're doing. Only just because, again, I happen to be a burn player myself. What else? What else you got, opponents? Oh, straight out attacking. All right. Well, I got to make sure we are not in bolt range, so we have to block it, unfortunately. Okay. Ugh. Do they have it? Down to 2. But they lose their Incinerator, so we could lose to anything right now. Literally anything. Bandit's Talent. Wow. Okay, sacrifice the Sunbay Canyon. We discard. Incinerator goes bye-bye. What else do they have in hand? Skullcrack. Ooh, we just barely survived that. But we're still within death's range right here with 2. Any burn spell they have will kill it. Oh, never mind, they got it. Alright. Dang. Okay, going to game 3. Game 3 of this match. Can we beat them? We just need an answer. Okay. I don't know if there's anything I really need to change with the deck. I think we pretty much have everything we need. We just need to find ways to get around their stuff. We'll just keep what we have. So I think this time around we need to find a way to just keep our life total high, and we just need to just burn them out, or sorry, remove what they have. All right, we're on the play. Okay. First turn, we got the duress. Okay, I think this might be good. This should be a good hand here. It doesn't have spot removal, but we do have discard for days. So let's see. First we need... Get rid of the bolts. Okay. All right, opponents. Bring it on.
It's time to do.
Avishvar Raceway. Bandit's Talent. So we could throw away another card here. Oh, they kind of help us get to level 2. Not a huge deal for us, but doesn't hurt. Okay. And most likely they're going to throw away the Flage again. No surprise, of course. Oh, they threw away Slick Out Show Off. Interesting. All right. Well, I mean, that's a choice too. Hushbringer. Interesting choice. But not one we really care too much about. So we will... Go blank. You gotta throw away 2 cards, opponents. Too bad. Okay, so that does buy us a little bit of time. Even if they have a Hushbringer, we still have Shieldred, so that's not a big deal. They go out to 19, we're at 19. Okay, I think... Let's see. I think we will... Bone Shards. Throw away a Bandit's Talent. Okay, so with that, tick up Bandit's talent, number 2. Enters tapped. Now we have what we need for Shieldred, so this hopefully should be enough. Lightning Bolt to the face. If they knew what we had in hand, they probably would have saved the bolt. Do they have the mana? No, they don't. Oh my goodness. Okay, now we've got an advantage here. All we just need to do is just slowly... Oh, that's annoying. Alright. We can still take up our ability, though. Okay, so that only bought him like a turn. Although, very annoying, by the way. Still, we can Dark Ritual. Shielder coming down. Get some drain in. Alright, level 3. Alright, opponents. Can you stop our Shieldred? Because we don't care about your Hushbringer at this point. Oh, wow, getting frisky there. Okay, that's fine. We don't mind that. Line up the stage. Wow, desperation. They're still not getting lands. Well, finally, we're getting a nice little break here. Okay, they finally got 1 land. But they got a Mana Tide that we don't care about. Did they put down the Monastery Swiftspear? Maybe? They do. Okay, that's fine. Okay. There we go. Got a little life gain back. So with that, we swing here. They block, no problem. And I guess we'll pass here. They drain. Opponents. Flage coming down. But their own ability counters that, so they get to get it for free. Annoying, but it does work. Okay. Let's throw away a swamp. Draw a card. Gain some life back. Pass. Alright. We will throw away that Skullcrack, if nothing else. That does help us out a little bit there. Throw away a swamp again. Gain some more life. Okay, so with that, do we swing? I mean, we have plenty of life right now. No attacks yet. We'll wait. Okay, drain him out. Drain him out. Down to 8. What do you got, opponents? I mean, although technically we're in a good spot right here because they're draining themselves out a lot here, but that Flage is going to be a problem for us. We need our spot removal. That's mostly our biggest thing. Because this is a big swing against us here. So no blocks yet. We're hoping we can go and close this out here. Monster Swiftspear. Okay. That kind of helps us out here. Draw another card. Okay, let's see. How do we do this here? Swamp. Lily onto the Veil. I'm guessing they're going to sacrifice Hushbringer. That'd probably be their safest bet. Yep. Swing here. They will lose their Monastery Swiftspear. Okay. Drain him out. Okay, drain him out. Now, all we have to do is just get rid of that Flage and we should be good. If they ping Liliana here... Ooh, Lightning Helix. Wow. Does that mean do they have 2? Are they going to hit... Oh, okay, interesting. Wait, why would they hit that? Why they couldn't... Okay. Oh, I see what they're doing here. Okay, so with that, Fatal Push the Flage. Okay, Liliana does survive. And we get to draw some cards. Okay, so with that, make our opponent discard.
We all have
Okay.
things we'd rather forget.
Wow, this can go any way still. We're still kind of close. Okay, our opponent here is going to try to bring back Flage. I mean, right now this is a pretty good match. But it could go either way. All right, Mountain. Ugh, Flage is coming. But we have at least removal we can use. Wait for it. Here he comes. Okay. If he aims for Liliana, then that's fine. At this point, we will just take the 3. Take him out. Liliana's down. We're kind of all back where we started, if you will. Okay. We actually might have to use Avishkar Raceway's ability here. Wait, actually, hold on. Dang it. We're still not at level 4 yet? That's annoying. And awkward, by the way. Okay. Drain him. Oh, but they still have enough where they can bring it back again. So it's not really in our favor here. Dang. Alright. Ooh. We're close to losing this. Because they can keep bringing him back a little bit longer here. Ugh. Take down to 12. Come on, deck. Give me something. Oh, jeez. Really? Wow. Not what we need at all right now. Are we going to lose? Well, this is kind of... Wow. Again, this is a match that we feel like we can easily win. But dang, our deck is just not working with us today. Okay, they draw another card. Did they get enough burn? Slickshot show off. Alright. Did they get it? Down to 2. Is there, oh, come on. Come on. Oh, you gotta be wow. Once again, our deck. We got flooded again. How is that possible? This deck only has 22 lands. Completely at a loss for words there. Kind of sad about that. Realistically, we should have won. We had so much spot removal, we just couldn't draw into anything. Ugh, disgusting. All right, well, enough of the budget version. We're now going to upgrade this. It's time we need to get something a little bit stronger on the field, because this is timeless. So, let's go over briefly the upgraded version if you actually do want to take this to the next level. So, good news for us, though, is we really don't need too many other things to really upgrade the deck. The main deck, of course, will get some much more stronger discards. So we're going to be utilizing Inquisition of Kozilek. We have Thoughtseize, so 3 and 3 of each, so you have 6. Keep Dark Ritual, of course. Keep the Bitter Triumphs. We're going to upgrade into Collective Brutality. This gives us a little bit more of a flex option here, so we can use it similar to the to one of our other cards. But instead, the upgrade here is you can either use it as spot removal, you can use it as life gain and drain, or you can use it to discard something an opponent has. To escalate the card, in other words, to utilize its additional abilities all in one card, you will have to discard additional cards, but that does work in our favor. In order to make sure we get some bonuses, of course, off of the discard, we will also bring in Waste Not here as one of our main pieces here. This can also help us out because we will get now a bunch of zombies, if we will, or we can draw some more cards. It just kind of helps us out with everything we can. So this replaces Bandit's Talent. We're going to trim down Collector's Vault to only 2 copies because we don't need that too many with what we're trying to do. Keep Liliana the Veil. Keep the Monument to Endurance because that's the whole point of the deck. Keep Shielder because, again, it's just incredibly powerful. In this actual main deck here, we're going to keep most of our swamps here. We'll use now Gyre Reach Sanitarium instead of the Avishkar Raceway for a much more consistent option for card draw and discard. Hive of the Eye Tyrant provides us with a creature land that we can utilize here to also be graveyard hate for us. Castle Lockwind is also going to be solid for us in order to make sure that we can draw into what we need. So these are going to be mostly our best options for us. Now that I think about it, maybe we could still squeeze in the other 2 Boggart Trawlers. Actually, I don't know why I took those out. So hold on one second. So we'll probably bring in those Boggart Trawler again, because I think those still might be of use to us. So bring in 2 of those and trim down 2 swamps. So that should be good there. Now, in terms of the remainder of the deck, so for the sideboard this time around, we'll keep the Bone Shards. We're going to throw in some better routes. We have Damnation here. We will have a better option for main deck graveyard hate. So a whole set of Leyline of the Voids, keep the Fatal Pushes, an extra copy of Inquisition, and an extra copy of Thoughtseize, and we're going to use Deadly Cover Up. I know we just talked about the Den Splendid, but it is a powerful Wrath. So we're going to throw that into our deck just to make sure that, again, we can steal away certain things if we can collect enough evidence to get the Wrath going at its max value. But otherwise, that is it, everybody. I do apologize, though, because my voice is starting to kind of go out a little bit here, but I'm going to still try to push through the remainder of this stream. So let's see if the upgraded version of this deck can do better. Okay, so we're going to play, first off, upgraded in best of 1, timeless ranked. All right. Is the upgraded version going to be better? I guess we'll find out here. I honestly feel a little bit more stronger about this version. So let's see. Can our opponent beat us? Because...
It's time to do.
All right. Wow, we got discard for days here. So I think we'll keep this hand here. And then hopefully we can just start discarding everything our opponent has. All right, Castle Lockwing, that's fine. All right, opponents, what do you got? Are we facing another aggro deck again? Hopefully we're not. I'm honestly all set for like all the mid-range control decks. And of course, Arena will set us up with all the aggro decks out there. Yep, no surprise. Okay, so how do we do this here? I think we'll have to pass for a second here. I want to put down the Waste Knot, but depending on what they cast here... Okay, Goblin War Chief. Okay, so we will discard our own card here. Throw away one of our Waste Knots because we don't need 2. And we can slow them down. Opponents? Yeah, I hope so too. Alright, so another Swamp. Liliana of the Veil. Take her down to keep the creatures off the field. I'm just down to 4 cards in hand. Well, 5 cards now. Can we get around them? I would hopefully like to see us get some more wins with this version of the deck. Battlecry Goblin again. Do they turn it on? Maybe? Opponents? Nano Flare 89. Welcome, my fiery friend. Thanks again for joining us. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. You're just in time to see us play an upgraded version of Mono Black Discard in Timeless. But we'll see if it's enough to beat down our opponents here. Alright, so... Waste Knot. Okay, and I guess we'll play Collective Brutality here. We will... -2. That's all we'll do. Keep their creatures off the field. Okay, opponents. Bring it on. Okay, 5 lands. Soga's in. Ooh. Alright. Well, that does unfortunately help us out with the extra mana we just got. That's okay. But they're desperate now. So we should be in a good spot now. Hopefully we have what we need. Okay, so with that, Dark Ritual. Liliana of the Veil. Make him discard another card. Come on, deck. Give me some value here. Okay, so we managed to get some mana, which we can use right now with Castle Lockwing. Okay. Not quite what we need, but we'll take it. Put another Waste Knot down. Okay. Well, this time around, the deck feels a little bit better because we actually have what we need. Oh. Ugh, Muxus. Oh, come on. Come on. Ugh, Arena. Why don't you ever... Why are we forsaken today? Dang. As always, the Muxus beats us down. Dang. So sad about that one. Man, we had everything in control, and of course, one card turns it all around. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. We'll just shake it off and we'll try again. Not a big deal. Breathe in, breathe out. Nano Flare 89. Love Mono Black and Discard, but it hasn't been successful currently for me. Yeah, I mean, I think that we're missing maybe from the Pioneer format one particular card that somehow evaded coming into Explore. There's one card I know that actually would really power up Mono Black Discard a lot, but unfortunately it just didn't make it into Arena, which is kind of a shame actually. So that's why we're playing in Timeless now. Maybe it can do better with at least what we have today. Dense amount of game hates. Simple explanation. Yeah, it feels like a conspiracy today. We are honestly, I feel like we're in such a decent spot to like get our wins, but we always end up coming up short just by like one card. But I mean, hey, that's the game for you. Sometimes you win and sometimes you just flood out or just run out of fuel, I guess. In any case, let's see. What do we want to keep this? It doesn't really help us with our game plan too much here, so let's mulligan. Okay. This looks good. Okay, we can definitely do what we need here. Put back one Bitter Triumph. Put down Hive of the Eye Tyrants. Inquisition. Alright, opponent. What do you got? Ooh, okay. Alright, throw away the Beanstalk. No bean shenanigans here, everybody. No thank you. Nano Flare. Just had a game like this where I was about to win. Then they top decked the Muxus. Oh, yeah. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I do love aggro. I do like actually playing Muxus in some way, shape, or form, but I can understand where people just feel like you work so hard to get the win, and then one card, as always, just blows up your whole game plan. But I mean, sometimes that happens, I guess. So I try not to let it bother me too much, because I can understand how annoying that can be. Waste not. Okay, so our opponent is an affinity deck. So this will be an interesting one here. Okay, so they exile Mirror Enforcer. Obviously no attacks, so we do have time to build up what we need. Swamp. Liliana of the Veil. So hopefully maybe this time around we can start discarding stuff for value. Come on, deck. Give me some love. Make him discard.
You're telling me what you know.
We'll throw away
Now
Swamp.
stop it.
What are you throwing away, opponents? Okay, they got a land. So I guess that actually kind of helps us out a little bit here, because we can Bitter Triumph. So this turns off Springleaf Drum, so that slows them down a little bit here. Okay, so threat down. That also ticks down their affinity, so that buys us time. Okay, see the Synod here. Okay, choice. I'm surprised they also added in some of the artifact lands, although I'm kind of annoyed because we didn't get all of the artifact lands added to Timeless, which is annoying. There's honestly a deck I've wanted to put together. Actually, I did put together this deck. It was a free burn deck in Timeless, but the issue was we didn't get the Great Furnace, which honestly would have made the deck extremely powerful on a budget that had no rares or mythics. Unfortunately, though, we just didn't get there. Such a shame, though. In any case, continuing on, let's go ahead, let's discard some stuff. What else you got, opponents?
Tired of your secrets.
Okay. Well, I mean, we won't let that go to waste. We can still turn on our Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Oh, hold on. So, I'm going to swing here for a second, but also I see like there's something we also got to do. Hold on one second, everybody. There we go. Say no to bots. All right. Well, at least we dealt with that. Monument to Endurance. So let's at least get out that. So if we can at least start getting some cards out, we should be able to then start doing our thing. All right. Make our opponent discard again. They really want to keep that Thought Monitor, though, because that's what it's going to get them back in this fight. Ooh, they lost it. All right. We got a zombie. We got a threat on board. Okay, opponent. What else do you got? Nano Flare. I love the Yu-Gi-Oh! Effects. It's what got me into card games in the first place. Oh, that's cool. So, oh, here we go. Yes, we got the win here. All right. See? The deck actually does stuff. It's not a terrible deck. Am I right? Yeah. All right. We got actually a win with the upgraded version. I'll take it. I will take it. Yes. Oop, thank you for that. Appreciate it. Okay. Yeah. In my earlier days when I used to play Magic back in like, and this kind of dates me to show how old I am, back in the old days of 2000, the early 2000s, that's when I played the game. But in that early era, I was also definitely a Pokemon player. For a little while when I left Magic, I actually did play Yu-Gi-Oh! For a little bit. I even have all my old cards from like way back from the earliest sets. So those are above my desk right now. I still have them. I still enjoy them. I actually do play once in a while when I have like nothing else to do, if I got a little downtime. I do actually play Master Duel. It's kind of a nice little throwback, but Master Duel also feels very oppressive because I built the deck that I made in paper, and I'm happy with it, but it just gets blown up because, man, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is power crept like crazy. At least that's my experience from it. Like, half the time my opponents will play something on turn 1, and I have no idea what they're playing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore. Honestly, it just feels like the game's a lot faster. Kind of feels like if I was to, it's kind of like a Magic's equivalent of playing like Legacy or Vintage. It just feels too fast for me at times. At least that's how my experience was. Maybe your experience is better than mine. Speaking of experience, all right, opponents, show me what you got. Let's get a peeky peek. Oh, wow. Okay, they're definitely they're rampant for days here. Okay, well, we're going to throw away that Titan because that's our biggest threat. But at least that's off the field now. All right, opponents, come on.
It's time to do.
I love doing that, by the way. So much fun. Okay, Collective Brutality. I mean, we could Collective Brutality a couple of the flares, but they don't really help out too much yet. So we're going to wait. I want to get down that Monument to Endurance. That's our biggest key piece that I want. Got another Boggart Trawler. Okay. So we got our key piece here. Monument to Endurance is out. All we just got to start doing is just start throwing away whatever they have. Hey, opponents, what do you got? Nano Flare. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! When the original anime came out, NGX. I tried to get back into it today, and it's so alien to me. I feel the same way. I guess you could say we're kind of Yu-Gi-Oh! Boomers, because that's honestly how I feel. I feel like I want to really enjoy the game again, but it's just so complicated now. Like, honestly, I'll be honest also. Mrs. Inferno, my wife, we actually managed to watch a good chunk of the original anime series, and she actually had fun with it too. Although it got a little clunky at certain points because I realized there was filler that I probably should have ignored. But honestly, it was actually kind of fun revisiting the original anime series from back in the day. Ah, good times, good times. Oh, actually, I probably should be playing. Okay, so let's see. Collective Brutality. We will do it this way. We will escalate to some life-gaining drain. Okay. Targeting opponents. Targeting opponents. We will throw away one Boggart Trawler. From here, we'll draw a card. We have enough lands to do what we need, so all we just need is going to be some pieces here. Oh, man, I kind of wish we got that earlier. All right, so throw away the Sylvan Scrying. Waste not. So at least now we should be able to get some value. Hopefully. Opponent's not going to get a chance to do much of anything, but I'm kind of scared as to what they have in hand if they're trying to ramp. Archer's Charm. Let's see what happens. Each modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Card is like reading a novel, and there's so many convoluted mechanics. I gave up. Yeah. I don't blame you, honestly, for that. Because sometimes I try to log into Master Duel. I have a friend that still plays Master Duel. I have no idea what he's playing anymore. And I know people tell me like, well, Infernoman, Magic is just as complicated now. It's not the same as what it was in the 2000s. And you know what? They're right to a degree. But at least I can kind of understand my cards in Magic. No offense again to Yu-Gi-Oh! Players out there. If you play Yu-Gi-Oh!, more power to you. Because I honestly, maybe I just don't have the patience anymore to understand every single mechanic. I cannot keep up with the meta anymore. So I kind of gave up. Honestly, I just play casually for fun. That's at least my experience. Okay, in any case, okay, let's see. What do we do here? I think Collective Brutality again. We will life gain and drain them. Throw away the Boggart Trawler, because we don't care about the graveyard yet. We will draw another card. We're trying to find more action that we can use to beat our opponent here. Get rid of one Charm. Okay, we'll draw another card. And pass here. So, if our opponent declares an attack, we can bitter triumph our way out of this, which is good. And we will now discard a card. Throw away the Swamp. Alright, see? Deck is doing its thing. Draw another card. Wow, we're getting all the waste knots, but we need actually something to close out this game. We don't need more... Okay. Well... I mean, I guess it's not the worst thing to keep getting these cards. Inquisition. Let's see what else they have. Anything else at all? Or are they just going to use up that Archer Charm now? Most likely they will. Yep. So here come the zombies. Field of the Dead. Joy. Alright, they got the Primeval Titan, by the way. So, ugh. We're not looking too good. So it's basically a Field of the Dead deck with a Prime Time. Okay. I don't know if we can get around this with the main deck, but we will try. We will try. Okay, here come the zombies. Ooh, boy. Alright. 3 value here. Jeez, Field of the Dead continues to be a completely busted card. I'm really surprised this card hasn't been restricted yet, at least in Timeless. But I know for sure, at least from other formats where it's legal, nobody really likes the card. Don't get me wrong, I actually have copies of it, but I always feel like maybe I should take them out of my decks. It just feels so unfun at times. Yeah. Alright. I don't know if we can get out of this now, only just because we don't really have an answer in the main deck. So, alright, we'll go to game 2. Actually, no, hold on. Wait, are we playing? No, we're playing the best of 1. Never mind. We'll just take the L. Dang. Okay, take the loss again. It's fine. It's fine. So I think we'll do maybe 1 or 2 more best of 1s, and we'll jump to best of 3. And then we'll wrap it up from there near the end. Just as an FYI, as always, I do appreciate all of your support, everybody. For those of you that are watching live, or if you're watching on the replay, if you are a fan of budget Magic, if you do like these fun streams, and if maybe you like me getting completely wrecked looking like the worst player in the world, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you watch the content so you don't miss out on any of the gameplay, booster pack openings, live streams, deck techs, and so much more. We will hopefully get out on Monday our fun little holiday-themed deck tech coming up for those that may be celebrating St. Patrick's Day. And even if you don't, it is still going to be a fun deck that I look forward to putting up soon. So that's going to be our next piece, spoiler, for our next deck tech coming out on Monday. But we'll talk more about that in a bit. In the meantime, let's see. All right, so we got plenty of discard, so this should be a good hand for us. We should be able to strip our opponent here and hopefully get to victory. Let's see. Oh, Dense Planet. Lost to Beans. Ban this garbage. Yeah. Beans is actually a real... Up the beanstalk. I never would have thought, out of all things, we're getting wrecked by a simple an uncommon, basically. It's ridiculous how powerful that card's been. All right, we will... What do we deal with here? Let's see. What do we want to deal with here? I guess we'll throw away the Reanimate. Can't have them have that. Magic's best strengths are its formats. It's easy for new players to get into Standard. I will agree with that. That's probably the biggest thing that Magic probably has versus other games is there's very structured formats that are already created, and there's a ton of formats you can play in. So you can play, and I always recommend for players, always start at Standard. I know right now Commander is the most popular format, but never have a new player start at the Commander level. That's too much for any player out there, and that's very overwhelming for new players. That's not to say, though, you shouldn't try. It can be fun, but it's a little overwhelming for players out there. Throw away the Bloodghast. So, I know they can bring back Bloodghast anyway with Landfall, so it's not really helpful for us. But it is... I mean, okay. Okay, so we got another Collective Brutality. So, here's how we do this. We will... How do we do this here? I think... Hold on. We'll -2/-2 that. And just get it off the field. As long they can keep landfalling it, but that still delays them a bit. So that buys us time if nothing else. Nano Flare. And as they get more experience, they can understand more complex mechanics and decks, and they get into Eternal formats. I definitely agree with that. Also, one of the things that I do like about the game that I also recommend for players is even if maybe there's a form, like, even if maybe you play a certain style, there's always going to be a format. There's always going to be some way to play the game. So I do like that there's options out there for players. All right, how do we do this here? So I think what I'm going to try to do here is we will... They're probably going to sacrifice the Bloodghast again. Ooh, they didn't. Interesting. But at least doing it this way means that they're biased. This buys us time, because this will slow them down. Because they're going to have to hit that Liliana. They're not going to leave that alive. So hopefully that gives us a little bit of time right here to kind of build up what we need. If we can get Shieldred out, we should be good to go. Ooh, Draconautics Engineer. We played on stream, interestingly enough, an Exhaust deck in Standard, and it fizzled out horribly. But interestingly enough, our opponent is playing this in Timeless? Interesting. They're doing a lot better than us, by the way. Alright. Monument to Endurance. Doesn't really help us here, but, I mean, we'll do it this way. We will -2. Throw away the Monument. Gives us a little bit of life, but, dang, it's not enough. Why is it their Exhaust deck actually did better than us on stream? We got blown up with ours all the time. But some way, somehow, our opponent actually beat us with their own Exhaust deck. This card's just not doing it that well today. Alright, it's fine. Let's do one more best of 1, and then we'll jump to best of 3. Maybe that's where this deck shines the most. At least what it feels like. Okay. I will say, though, also, now that you mentioned that earlier, Nano Flare, I would say the best way maybe I would probably also recommend to teach someone is, especially if you're someone that wants to maybe learn the mechanics of how to build a deck, Jumpstart is a great way, in my opinion, to kind of start getting players getting used to mechanics and also themes, colors, and seeing what synergies work together. Jumpstart packs are so much fun, and then you could repack them and then make them like into a, I don't know, like a pseudo draft, if you will. Like you can give people, you don't even have to give people individual cards. You can just give people like a pack of Jumpstart, mix 2 together, and you've already got a cute little deck that you can put together and have fun with. And you can keep doing it over and over again. Man, I absolutely love Jumpstart. It's probably one of my favorite paper products that Magic has created, because it's such a nice, easy way to kind of ease someone into the game without making them feel too intimidated from things like deck building, colors, mechanics. It's all built into it. So it's kind of a nice little self-contained way to play the game. Any case, before I ramble on, okay, so we got some Thoughtseize, Shieldred, Dark Ritual. Okay, so I think we should be able to get out a turn 2 Shieldred if this all works out. So it depends on what our opponent is doing. Okay, Plains. Okay, that works out in our favor. Thoughtseize. Let's get a peeky peek. What do you got, opponent? Okay, so they are... Oh, wow, they are definitely all in on this. So throw away the Path to Exile. Because once that's out, then we can get down Shieldred easily. Giada. Alright, the Angels are coming. They are coming. Dark Ritual. Shieldred. So this does buy us a little bit of time. We need to get to our spot removal as fast as possible. But I don't know if we have enough for every Angel, though, so that's the only annoying part. Den Splinit. Wish there was Jump Smart for Eternal formats as well. Yeah, I think that would be actually kind of fun too, but I can understand that might be a little tricky to balance to a degree, because you're going to want to find a way to balance them, but still provide at least some way to make them, you know, not too powerful, I guess you could say. Okay, drain our opponent here. So, Waste Not. Thoughtseize. Okay, we need to get off the most important card from them. That's probably going to be the other Righteous Valkyrie. That gives us a token. A zombie. We swing. We have to keep their life total low. Down to 14. Okay, drain them. Down to 12. But Angels can bounce back very quickly, and that's one of the problems from this. Soul Warden. Interesting. They actually did not blow up the Waste Not yet. I'm surprised. Collective Brutality. Okay, well this helps us out quite a bit here. So Collective Brutality. Drain our opponents. We'll play all of them. So there. We aim for the Giada. Aim for them. There we go. 2 cards for value here. Submit one. Submit the other. Sorry, opponents. Okay, so we throw away the Requisition Raid. We draw a card. Gain some life. We will swing with Shieldred. No way they're going to block. Down to 7. Okay, nice. Hey, we managed to outdo Angels. So far, at least. Sarah the Benevolent coming in. Do you pump or do you make an angel? Yep. I'm trying to get their life back. A little tricky. Collect brutality again. That's good. Okay, so how do we do this here? I think hit him here. So let's see. How do we do this here? Kill the Soul Warden. Drain them. We throw away Liliana. Go up to 28. We swing. Do you block opponents? They block there. No? They do. Okay. It's a tricky block. Oh, wow. They double block. Okay. Well, I mean, that's fine. They lose both their angels. Okay, so board is somewhat clear. They have technically a Cave of the Frost Dragon they can use if they have enough. But they can tick up. Okay. Oh man, we're so close. Okay. Can we do this? We swing here at their face. Down to 4. And let's see. Okay, I guess we wait for a moment here. Okay. Okay, I think we got him here. Wait, no. Cave of the Frost Dragon. Swing here. Do they turn on the Frost Dragon? They don't. Oh, okay, okay. Well, there we go, everybody. We got him. Just barely. They probably should have turned it on now that I... There we go. There we go. Yes! Victory! Woo! That was a tight one right there. All right, we'll take that victory, everybody. Very nice. Super happy about that one. Oh, man. Jeez. Feels like it's been such a grind today just to get at least a win or two. Okay, so we're going to be wrapping it up with some best of 3 for the remainder of the stream. As always, I do appreciate all of your support, everybody. I know it's not the most exciting of gameplay, but some way, somehow, we are getting our wins a little bit here and there. But, I mean, you tell me in the comments so far, feeling the deck, maybe we could do it better. Should we go more in on the discard mechanic? Or is this deck just not doing it? Let me know. Nano Flare. It's always nice to see Angel life gain decks lose. Yeah, because every time, I swear, I always face off against them and I always end up getting blown up. On the other hand, if I was to play an Angel deck, of course our opponent will have all the Wraths in the world, so yeah. Not too much of a fan, honestly, of Angel decks. I play them once in a while, but it's definitely not my cup of tea. I'll definitely say that. Okay, so let's see. What do we got here? So we got Dark Ritual. We can get out of Waste Not immediately if we need to. All right, I think this should be fine. So let's see. How do we want to do this? Turn 1 Waste Not might be good for us, but also they'll probably have some early game removal. Okay, Sunbaked Canyon. Opponents. Monastery Swisser coming in. All right, looks like we're dealing with more aggro. Goody. All right. Dark Ritual in the early part of the game. Waste Not. We lose, unfortunately, 1 mana for that, but it's a small price to pay. Because we can always... We'll make it up on the back end once we start draining them out. Okay, opponents. Show me what you got. Bring it on.
It's time to do.
All right. Okay. Dumping out their whole thing. But again, this is now best of 3, so we do have answers now that we kind of have an idea of what our opponent's playing. It looks like they're playing a mono-red aggro burn deck. So let's see. Is that enough against us? Opponents? What else you got? Swinging? Maybe? Could be waiting forever, opponent here. Come on. Okay, well, while our opponent is contemplating life right now, friendly reminder for those of you that do want to show some love, we actually do also have some other ways you can interact with us. We have a Discord, if you haven't already noticed. That link has been kind of scattered throughout the chat, so click on that if you want to join our growing group of fiery friends. If you want to be a true fiery friend, you can also, again, support me. $3 a month on Patreon will get you access to every single one of our deck techs and also some bonus gameplay footage of me testing out future stuff that sometimes doesn't quite make it to actual decks, and a bunch of other wacky stuff that I've been trying to throw up there for exclusive purposes. But even if you don't, not a big deal for us. I won't get mad, of course. I still appreciate your support by just hanging in there, watching a stream, showing some love by giving a like, or sharing these videos with your friends. Any and all support is greatly appreciated. Okay, enough of me shilling. Let's see. How do we do this here? I think we'll do it this way. Okay, Collective Brutality. Drain. Actually, hold on. Make them lose. Reveal. Because they have to have instants and sorceries in hand. Let's see. We will Monastery Swift Spear. We'll throw away a Swamp. Okay, so they got a Boros Charm. Throw away the Boros Charm. We draw a card. That's good. Get another land out of that. So little by little, we need to just whittle down their creatures, and we should be fine. Nano Flare. My other discard decks ran Bandit's Talent and Go Blank, but it looks like Brutality is really good against aggro decks. I will definitely say, putting in Collective Brutality was a nice upgrade to this deck, because it gives you the flex option. You can either force them to discard, make them lose a creature, or drain them. So it is a nice option. I will definitely say I do like it in this deck. Okay, so let's see. We need to stabilize 2. So in this case, do it this way. Collect the 2. Soulscar Mage goes bye-bye. And then we drain them. We will throw away 1 Waste Knot because we don't need 2. Okay. Here we go. That is helping, little by little. They'll probably put down their other Get 2 Lava Runner, but we should be fine. Ideally, if we can get Shieldred out, then we could pretty much close up this game. But I don't know if we'll be able to get to her. We'll see. We will try. We will try. All right. Tap land. Get 2 Lava Runner. Okay, our opponent is out of cards, so this is good. So we can kind of figure out now what we should do from here. Down to 9, though. Okay, Liliana's not bad. Because here's how we do this. We will make them lose 1 Lava Runner. They have a Sunbaked Canyon, too. Tick down. We will obviously lose Liliana next turn, but that buys us technically a turn because they are taking a turn off just to get rid of Liliana. And we still have at least 1 more Bitter Triumph. Okay, Sunbaked Canyon, they sacrifice a draw. No surprise. Okay, so they got 2 cards in hand. All right. What else you got, opponents? Oh, man. If going to game 2, we will definitely have answers for this. So hopefully we should be able to just blow them out here and just coast our way to the second game. All right. Come on, opponents. Okay. They bolt her face. Ugh. Does that mean they have... They do have it. Ugh. Down to 3. Okay, so they ignore Liliana. Okay, so in that case then, I guess we don't have a choice here. We will have to... Hold on. No. Ugh. I think we'll have to do it now. Discard our swamp. Okay. Alright. Take up for no value. Alright. If they have anything in hand, we are dead.
We'd rather forget.
Yep. Bolt to the face. Well, that stinks. But it's okay. This is only game 1 of the match. So, we are dealing with a mono-red burn aggro deck, which I've, of course, know very well. Fatal Push is definitely coming in. Let's see. Thoughtseize can be dropped. Instead, we'll just put an Inquisition. Let's see, we can Monument to Endurance might be too slow here. We just want to focus on just the value we provide from, let's see, we get a Damnation, of course, 2 Bone Shards, and, would the Leyline of the Void be helpful here? Because it does erase everything in their yard, but we don't really care too much about that. Maybe another Deadly Cover-Up? And then, I don't know, Trim. I guess maybe that might be enough. Or maybe it was it. Maybe trim one Liliana for the other Deadly Cover-Up. Okay, I think that should be okay. We'll do that. And Flare, good games. I have to go to work, but thank you for the stream. Discard decks are always fun. Oh, okay. Well, thanks again for joining us earlier today, Flare. I do appreciate you stopping by. Thanks again. Have a wonderful day wherever you're at, and always be sure to burn bright. Later. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's see if we can get game 2 here. So with that, we have... This can be greedy if we can get down the second land drop. If we can get down the second land drop, this is beautiful. If we can't, we will completely get screwed over here. Oh, jeez, I don't know what to do here. I'm going to roll the dice. Please do not yell at me in the comments later. But I'm going to roll the dice, and we'll see if we get... we will see if we get rewarded for this. 1 land is all we need, and Shieldred comes down, and then we'd be set. All right, let's see. Dang, the heart of the cards was not with us. It's okay, though. We still technically have a plan B to the deck. Okay, so we'll do it this way. Liliana the Veil. Tick her down.
Enough with the mysteries.
Keep the Lava Runner off the field. So he's gone. Opponent's definitely going to have to answer that Liliana now. That's for sure. Okay, Sacred Foundry. They shock themselves. Opponents, what do you got? Slickshot Show Off. All right. They will take out Liliana. No surprise. All right.
Oh, that's my cue to leave.
Okay, so we got a Fatal Push, so I guess that's fine. We'll hold on to that for now. In case they pump up Slickshot Show Off. Man, our deck now is mana screwing us. Did I get too greedy again? Well, I mean, that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Dang. I guess today was just not my lucky day. Wizard's Lightning. All right. They hit us. Take 3. Any more burn? Skewer the critics. Ugh. All right. Is that enough? They swing. Fatal Push away. Phew. Okay. We still can survive. Okay, well, there's our other land. A little too late there, but that's okay. We'll take it. Collective Brutality is too slow, so we might as well just put down the Waste Knot. Hopefully we can get some value off of that. Hopefully. All right, come on, opponents. We're not dead yet.
It's time to do.
Okay. Opponent lightning bolts us. They take some damage, though, so down to 17. We're at 11. Can we survive? Monastery Swiftspear. 2 more cards in hand, opponent. Do they have any more burn spells? Anything else? Boros Charm, okay. So we go down to 7. Go down to 5, okay. Bogger Trawler. Not what I want to see now, but I guess we'll put it down as a land. Has to come into play tap, though. Okay. So here's how we do this. We will choose everything. Pick our opponent, pick a creature, pick our opponent. We throw away, discard a card, and discard a card. So what do they got? Okay, so it's a bolt. Phew. Okay, so that did pay off. And we drew a card. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, we got the Dark Ritual. We can definitely get down Shieldred next turn for sure. Okay, so with that, Swamp and Shieldred. Alright, opponents. The drain is coming. Now we're the burn deck. Whew. Alright. Will this be enough to stop our opponent, though? I guess we'll find out here. What else do they have? Okay, Lura's coming down, so they can play 1 card. Just 1. But is it going to be enough to stop us? Because we will start pressuring them now with the attacks. Okay, they go to 11. Inquisition. Okay, so here's how we do this. Dark Ritual. Make 3 mana. Inquisition. Make sure we throw away whatever they have. Bolt goes away. We draw a card off of that, which is nice. Gain some life. We draw another card. Oh my god, this is finally working. Gain some life. Bone Shards. We will discard. Yes! There we go. Lurrus is down. We swing. Keeping the pressure on our opponent. They have to block. I know they have to block. Oh, they don't. Okay. Well, this works out for us. Ooh, this actually might be the best way right now to finish off our stream today. Might be cut a little short, but I realize I look at the clock and I have to get ready for my job. So, do apologize for that, everybody. As always, I love to stream as much as I can, but these short streams are the best I can do. But I still appreciate all of you watching just the same. Alright. Oh man, we're so close to finishing off our opponent here. Boros Charm. Alright. Go down to 6. I think this is it, everybody. I think we got him here. Alright. Gain the life back. Come on, opponent. Let me have this. Oh man. Let me have this. Okay. No cards in hand. Neither one of us. We are completely all discarded of our hands where I'm swinging right here. You have nothing left, opponents. I mean, you can sacrifice that Sunbaked Canyon, but that's not enough to stop us. Come on, opponent. Let me have this. Let me just swing and get my victory here. Aw, opponent. Aw, I wanted to get the actual swing. That's okay. Okay. Final game here, everybody. Win or lose. We are going to see if we can trust beat down our opponent with our deck. We're going to keep up what we have, though. It was working very well, so I think this should be fine. Oh, man, I think we can finally get a win out of this one. So hopefully this record-wise is doing better than last stream, but it's not still quite where we want to be. But that's okay. So after this, we will do our wrap-up of the decks, both the budget one and the non-budget. And then we'll kind of talk about also what's to come in the future. So if you're my true fiery friend and you've made it this far into the video, as always, I appreciate your support because you'll get a sneak peek as to what's to come down the line. Okay, opponent in the meantime is still thinking of what they want to build, or at least what they want to do with the deck. So we'll see. Is it going to be enough? Thinking. All right. They're thinking. While they're thinking, one other final question I want to ask for everyone today is what color do you think is going to be the strongest when Tarkir Dragonstorm drops? So not the clans, not the 3 colors, but what one single color do you think is going to be the huge game changer for us? And I'm sure that'll shape... Oh, our opponents! They didn't want to fight us! They gave up! Aw, opponent! I was ready for one more match! Aw. Well, I guess they've had enough. They did not want to deal with our discard shenanigans. Okay, I mean, I'll still take that win. That does count as a win for today, everybody. So, all right, well, I guess that'll be it for tonight, everyone. So thanks again for joining us, but let's go ahead, let's go to the wrap-up for the deck. All right, victory. Down but not out. Got that achievement. Cool. Always make sure to do your dailies, kids. Always make sure. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and let's talk about the deck overall. So Timeless discard for us for the Timeless format. You tell me in the comments below, what do you think? Would you play this deck in any way, shape, or form? Truth be told, I honestly thought the deck was going to do better than I thought today, but it kind of fizzled out in various points. One of the things that I always have to remember is Wizards, or at least WotC, how they designed Arena, sometimes feels like you're not going to get the matchups you want to see. This deck, I feel, does way better against mid-range and control decks, but against aggro, we sometimes end up being too slow. The budget version of the deck did okay, but it didn't do as well as I'd want it to do. Still, I would think that in a casual format, this will shine. In ranked, we're definitely not optimized, so keep that in mind if you actually want to build this. Again, it is a little expensive in paper. I think it's like $300 in paper, so I probably would not build this in paper. If I want to build it in Arena, 16 rares, so that's not too shabby if you actually do want to put this together. So just again, your mileage may vary depending on where you want to play this deck. So it could be terrible and it could be fun, but again, just keep that in mind if you do want to play this. If you do want to actually go all out, you actually will get a lot more value out of the deck. Personally, I like the upgraded version a little bit more. I probably would do some minor tweaks to it just to get a little bit of extra value if I was to replay this again overall. Best of 3, I think, is going to be where this deck shines the most, whether you play this in budget form or non-budget form. So keep that in mind, at least from my experience today. Definitely did a lot better in best of 3 because at least you have better options to then sideboard in stuff you don't need versus certain opponents. But again, it really depends on how you look at the deck. Again, one more time also, I will leave the links for both of the decks coming up. Ooh, we actually have a pack, so let's actually crack this. What do we get? Did I get a good rare? Okay, we'll see. Full Wargox. Nothing exciting, but oh well. I mean, at least that's one more to the collection here. So we're slowly building up that vault, little by little. Okay, so before we completely ended it for today, everybody, let's kind of get a little looky look as to what's to come. So again, all of you that are still watching, here's what's to come for the next week. So as I mentioned earlier, we have our St. Patrick's Day themed video coming out on Monday. The video is technically already done. I just got to make the thumbnail, and that'll be ready to go Monday morning for the holiday. For those of you that are on my Patreon, you actually can see it right now if you subscribe to the Patreon, because that'll be up now for those of you that are early adopters. Appreciate that for those of you that support. But even if you don't, it still comes out Monday morning for everyone. In terms of what's to come for beyond that, our next stream, I've been playing around with the Frog God, and man, she is actually really powerful. So we're going to put together again a budget version and a non-budget version of basically Frog Mommy. So she's coming out soon for the next stream, I believe on Wednesday. That's what we're planning for the next stream. Beyond that, it really depends. I think we'll be doing the Meow Mix deck next weekend, so keep an eye on that deck. That'll be our next deck tech on stream coming out. And beyond that, I haven't had a chance to build it yet, but I, of course, am in the drafting process of making our next basically deck. That's going to be 5 color. I still need more time to kind of play around with it, so I don't even have an idea of where it's going to look, but that is coming out. That'll be the final one in the series for our basically sets. But don't worry, because I am planning, of course, some basically EDH / Commander / Brawl decks for those of you that actually like to play in Brawl on a super tight budget. So that's coming out soon as well. So that's my next project down the pipeline. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for today, everybody. Thank you one more time for everyone that has watched today. So those of you that have been watching, as always, shout outs to you, of course, on stream for those that are watching. So Den Splinit, as always, my true fiery friend and hanging out for me. You're my all-star as always. I appreciate you being here. Nano Flare, I know you're not here anymore, but a shout out to you. Thanks again for joining us earlier today. Appreciate, of course, you being there in the chat for just a little bit. And of course, I know for like one quick little shout out there, Dave OV on YouTube. Thanks again for joining us. Appreciate you for showing that love for Discard. Even though we didn't do too well, I still appreciate you being here just the same. If I don't get a chance to name you specifically, if you didn't make it onto the chat, don't worry. I still appreciate you all watching, whether again it's live or on the replay. And then one more shout out to the other people I see, Red the Dino, and of course Pokeball Maniac on Instagram. Thanks again for being there, everybody. Those of you that are watching across Kick, across X, and all the other platforms, sorry if I don't see you, of course, on there. The chat doesn't pop it up on my side, but I'm going to see if I can try to get that working in the future where I can get everyone on one chat. But until then, thanks again one more time. And again, I hope you, of course, have a wonderful weekend wherever you're at, wherever you are doing, whatever you are building. Have fun out there, and we will again see you again on Wednesday. But as always, before we end it, I do want to say, just remember, no matter what you do play in the game of life, always be sure to burn bright. We'll see you again on Wednesday, everybody. Later.